Hi.
So welcome everyone to We Are Endurance webinar series. This is a peer-to-peer webinar. And Joanne, why don't you kick this off by telling us a little bit about yourself and your background and how you got into triathlons to begin with?
Um, it was kind of simple. I was sitting in a Weight Watcher meeting and listening to this small group of people so excited about their weekend and how they were in a triathlon and they were swimming and they were biking and they're running, and I'm sitting there, I was doing well on Weight Watchers and I was starting to feel like I want to do something. So sat next to this one man because he was talking about swimming, and I was like, "Well, how do you do that? How do you swim?" Because, "Oh, just come on down to the pool at St. Joe's, and Steve Topanian was there, and he'll evaluate for $20. It's the best money you'll ever spend." And I went down there, and oh yeah, I wasn't doing well with the swim at all. Steve said, "I'm a good beginner, and maybe I'll keep you." I was like, "What?" I thought I was swimming quite well. So anyway, I continued with it, and then I started to sign up for races. The first one I did, and now I was, mind you, I was 56 at the time, so I started late. I didn't, I used to do little things, tennis here, do little things around, but as far as athletics, nothing in school, in high school or anything. So, yeah, so I signed up for the Mini Mighty Man at Eisenhower Park. Perfect race. I didn't know anything about transition. I kept all my clothes and everything in the locker room because no way was I going to change outside in the field in front of people. So I was wondering why the locker room was empty when I came out of the water. And I come outside and I was like, with this whole big thing was exploding outside. I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Nobody told me I had to change my shoes outside and everything. It was like such so foreign to me. I had the best fun race I can imagine, and talking to people and enjoying every minute of it. And fell off my bike, because I didn't know how to get my leg over when I'm tired. That was a big challenge. So I did that, and then I just signed up. The next one was Smith's Point. Did all those little races that were part of Steve's program because he was a race director of all these races. So I signed up for everything. I did 5 races that first year, and it was my first time. I never even ran. I did a little 5K just before for training, but I did it all on my own and stayed with the group. Um, so that was how I got started. And then I got a little bit more involved. I met people. I stayed connected. I stayed with the team. And then my sights were going a little higher. I was training for the Riverhead Rocks when it was an Olympic try. I did that. And then I tried the Mighty Hamptons, which they just had this weekend. It's one of my favorites, favorite of all times. Um, so I did that, and then I signed up for Timberman. And Timberman, I decided it's a lot. It's big. I'm going to get a coach. And I hired Laura Hartman from Team Infinitri. I joined up with them. Laura's out here. She's just 2 miles away from me. So it was somebody close. And she was part of Steve's team also. So I hired Laura. Um, and we became friends. But Laura had a small group concept. Like she didn't train anyone. She didn't train more than 12, maybe 14 if somebody needed to be trained. So she kept a small group. She used Training Peaks. So she gave me my training for the week. She monitored me. She checked with me. It was just like she did that with everyone because I got to work closely with her, and I saw that she did that with all. She even had like swim nights that we were mandatory. If you're a coached athlete, you have to show up for her swim night. So it's training, it's swim in the pool, and it's drills. And that's how I gained my confidence in the pool. From there, we were out open water through the nice weather. We did every Wednesday night socially. We swam at Mashut Beach out here in Hampton Bays. Beautiful swim, and then they had the little hut where you could have something dinner, and then you could the music's there. So we used to do a night every throughout the whole summer, and then it's just the camaraderie of the group. We were all doing this together. On Saturday mornings, we met at Mashut also, and we swam. Not for training or anything, just everybody get out in the water. And then out when we got out, either we were assigned to run in our training peaks or we have to bike. Either or. We did bricks on Saturday morning. And once a month she'd have a track workout, but it's in your training plan anyway. But then she'll have like a group workout together. So to me, that was invaluable, because if I was just to be handed a piece of paper and say, go do this, I'm not so sure. But Laura checked on me. Did you do that? I was, oh, yes, I did. And you don't want to lie. You want to get it done. So there was a reason. And I was really prepared for this race. As far as nutrition, we went over that. We even had transition clinics. She had some very experienced athletes come and in a parking lot at the school, set everything up. She had us going in circles, dismount off your bike, run. I mean, like, we're doing all that in a parking lot. We did a couple of times. We had a bicycle clinic. If you're out on the road, what happens if you have a flat tire? We put on little gloves and we all just changed tires. And it was actually a ladies group that showed up because we didn't know how to change a tire. So she got us to do that. And that to me was also another invaluable thing, because when I'm out on the road with my girlfriends and somebody gets a flat, I know how to change it. You know, number one, you go on YouTube right away to refresh your memory. But so all those little tips are really, really important. So that was my first time. And like I said, I was prepared. And I know when I started the race, I was with a group. We rented a house, and they had a different coach, the two other people I was with. And my coach had me out running, and they're laying around. It's taper week. What are you running for? I said, my coach says to run. I get out there and I run. So I did my run. And then my coach calls me later and we're chatting, and they're like, who are you talking? I said, my coach. She goes, your coach calls you? I said, yeah, my coach called me. I said, didn't your coach call you? You got a race in 2 days. No, we haven't heard from our coach. So consider who your coach is. You know, they could really be such a benefit to you, such an asset to you. Money well spent. You know, I was in good condition because, you know, she kept tabs on me. Yeah, I had to do the 10-10-10 thing the day before the race. 10 minutes in the water, 10 minutes on my bike, and 10 minutes to run. And they're still they're having like a nice morning, Saturday morning. They're like laying around the couch. I was like, what are you doing? I said, I have to get my 10-10-10. They go, you what? I said, so needless to say, I had a great race, and the bike was difficult. No, I would never pee on my bike, to answer your question, Hillary. Never. I actually got off my bike, and I only recently told my coach this last week. I said, you know, by the way, remember that Timmerman I did in 2014? I said, I got off my bike twice to go to the bathroom. She goes, what? I said, you never told me that. I said, yeah, I didn't feel prepared for those mountains, you know, that I was about to climb. And I was starting to get like a panic, anxiety. So I pulled over, I went to the bathroom. I got myself a bottle of water. I took a shower because I just felt like I was like, how am I going to get over this big mountain? I know I was prepared for it, but I was starting to get a little anxious. So I just prepared what's a couple minutes? So I stopped twice and I did go to the bathroom. And I got that hill done, and my bike was awesome from that point on, because I diffused myself. I had to stop myself because I was getting all like, okay, it's coming, you know, and I couldn't be like that. So I had to work on that. But she gave me the tools for that, you know, I knew. And then the run was fine. What I did was I ran a mile and I walked a couple, like maybe 2 minutes. You know, I didn't know Galloway then. So I just did every mile, then I took a break. Every mile took a break, and I really had a good bike. So I finished in 7 hours and 24 minutes, which I thought
Wow,
was
that's good.
terrible because I stopped twice and I was like, oh, I'm gonna do it again. I'll have to do this again, and I'm gonna do it better. I won't stop. But you remember my two friends I told you about? I mean, one of them did not finish. She did 9 hours, and the other one I think had like over 8.5 hours. But they
Did
weren't
they
ready.
stop to pee?
I didn't even ask them because they were so, I don't know. And then, you know, the big group that was there, because, you know, you travel with a group, people you know, and they all planned on doing a dinner that evening. I was all set for the dinner because I felt good. I had my recovery plan. And my coach was on the phone with me right after I finished, How did you do? Go get some chicken. Hurry up. Go eat some protein. Hurry up. Get in the. I said, all right, I'll go get some. I was tired, I was tired. But my friends couldn't make the dinner that night because they were too tired. They were hurt. They were hurting. And I don't think I don't think they had a nutrition plan because I saw what I was preparing and I saw what they were preparing. And I saw the difference. So, and I was always a fan of having a coach. Um, the next time through, my next race was, I wrote down I think it was Atlantic City. I may get confused with my dates. Yeah, it was Eagleman and then Atlantic City. So my next one was Eagleman, and I did well with that. Just Eagleman's different. See, Timberman had the hills. That was the big focus. Some people had to worry about with the hills and train the hills. My coach had me do hill repeats. Make sure you ride the hills. I live right here by County Road 51. Hill repeat that hill. It's long and steady. It's like almost a half a mile long. So I did that. I just trained for hills. With Eagleman, I didn't have to train for hills. I had to train for wind. So I would go up and down Dune Road. One way you got it good, and then the other way you got like wind in your face, and it's hard. So I did my planning. I was still continuing with my coach. That all worked fine. But Eagleman, I struggled with because of heat, and I ran out of nutrition. And whatever you did in the heat wasn't working. The swim was great. Transition was good. Got on the bike. The bike was full wind in my face for like 50 miles. Full wind in my face. No recovery, no brakes. I couldn't even get out of my seat because of the side wind that was hitting me. I was afraid I would just jerk off the bike because it was that fierce. And it's not always that bad, but it was tough. There was no recovery. I couldn't coast. I couldn't just take a break. I didn't get off the bike. I stayed on the bike. Actually, I made sure I stayed on the bike for 56 miles.
No pain?
No, I didn't have to, which is fine. I can't say I didn't do it in my wetsuit, but I was fine. I was fine. But when you compare the two, I do like hills, not really incredible hills, but I do like hills better because you do get the downhill, you do get a recovery on your legs, you can coast a little bit. If there's hills, most times there's shade. In Eagleman, there's no shade, complete sun the entire time. So you got to be prepared for that too. Thinking, I'll do something easy. I'll do flat. You have a flat with no sun, with no shade is not healthy either. So, but I had a good race. I finished, and it was like over 8 hours because my run got spoiled with the heat. I couldn't keep up with the ice. They were giving out baggies of ice. I kept the bag so I could refill all along. I put ice everywhere. It's just so I could have relief. And nutrition-wise, I'm a big fan of Hammer products. I do Hammer. I do Heat and then Perpetuum and then my Hammer gels. But now my Hammer gels give my stomach a little ugh. So now I'm on Huma. It's in like more of a plant-based gel that I'm using. I got at the New York City Marathon, and I love it. That's the one I've been using. So I kept up with that nutrition. But then Atlantic City was coming. I was trying to type for money. I was like, oh, I'm not going to pay my coach. I'll do it on my own. I know what to do, right? She has used Training Peaks for her format but that account canceled out. So what I did is I picked up this book. Can you see it? This is a Matt Fitzgerald. I was so excited when you had him as a guest, Hillary. Oh, I was like, oh, I love him. But this is great. This is great. If you can understand how the format is and how to lay it out, if you want to do it on your own, this is it. But you have to be motivated. And that's what I found with this. I was my worst enemy. I was the one just talking to myself like, oh, I'm going to do it tomorrow. But if I had a coach, she wouldn't let me do it tomorrow. I had to do it the day that it was planned. So and I did buy this book too. So the next time train for something, I'm going to use this one. I'm going to see how this one works. Because he did speak about this at the last that webinar, which was great. So yeah, and it's not just training for swim, biking, and running. You also need to do the some yoga, recovery. You need to do strength training. Strength training is really important on both those. So Atlantic City, I did that one. It was an old course, so I can't compare it to what they're doing right now. But I did ask some people who did the Timberman, the new course of Timberman, which is relocated to Laconia. It's a different lake. I was in Lake Winnipesaukee, and this time it was in Lake Opeechee. I think they said it was Opeechee.
Where is Timberman? It's
New Hampshire.
New
It's by
Hampshire.
Guilford. It's beautiful up there. But what they changed the course, the one hill I was panicking over, I think I would definitely had reached my peak of panic if I was on these hills that the new course had. So they told me the last 20 miles at this new course, 3,000 feet of elevation gain and no relief on your legs. Now I got this from somebody like who's an avid cyclist. It's a guy. He was like, I could not believe how horrible those last 20 miles were with nothing to relieve your legs. Not enough downhill to relieve it. It was all up, 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 up. And it was steep hills. It wasn't as gradual as like some of these hills were as it was in the past. So that's kind of like, I wanted to do that race next year. And I'm kind of thinking, oh, I don't mind some hills. I don't mind rolling hills. They advertise rolling hills, but he said it is steep, nonstop hill. So if you want to do that, I would recommend. Actually, they said Placid was easier than this. Yeah, on the hills. Yeah. So that's a little crazy. So I would go there and ride the course to just figure it out. If you like it or not. If you don't, then then decide whether you spend your money on it. It's something to do. Go road trip it. It's so beautiful up there. The lakes are beautiful. Swimming in those lakes are just out of this world. So beautiful. They said the run was wonderful because you do two loops around the lake. And it was rolling hills. I mean, rolling, nice, nothing, but it was scenic. So they recommended that for the swim and the run. The bike, you got to be ready for it. Of course, some people loved it. People who like hills. So that's what your forte is. And then Eagleman is not changed. It'll never change. It's just flat and wind and sun. But one thing I loved about Eagleman, the community support. They have the elementary schools write you a note, and you find that in your packet pickup. You get this cute little note. Dear athlete, thank you for coming to our town, and good luck on your race. I mean, it was just on the news. I was watching something on Facebook, but they were showing the kids are writing their letters because Eagleman's coming this weekend, and they were doing their letters for the athletes that come to their town. So the community support is great. And as far as housing and everything, that is, you got to book early because that one books up for those races. Eagleman and Eagleman's not this weekend. It's Ironman Maryland is this weekend. Many times people will do the Eagleman race because it's half of the full Ironman, and that they will do the follow-up and do the actual Ironman Maryland. It's pretty iconic.
Me. That's me.
Hi.
Hi. I did Eagleman June. I'm gonna do Ironman this weekend.
Oh, perfect. Congratulations.
wow. Is this your first, Janine?
It's my second full, but my first I didn't get to do the swim that got canceled in Chattanooga. So I'm hoping to be able to swim this time. So
You swim in the chop tank, they call it.
yeah, the choppy chop tank. Well, we'll see.
Sometimes it is. When I did Eagleman, it was nice. It was a little rocky, but nothing choppy. I loved it.
I did Eagleman. It was my first half
Mhm.
in God, 11 years ago now.
Okay.
It was very rough.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't swim near enough. I almost didn't make the swim cutoff.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Where is the swim in Eagleman? Or I guess Ironman, Maryland, it's the same
Well,
thing,
the
right?
same, yeah. It's in the park where its transition is right there. It's
Yeah.
So is it a bay or is it the ocean?
It's the river.
brackish, they call it.
Yeah, it's the
Right.
Chop Tank River.
Yeah.
It's close to the bay. You go the mouth of the river a little, you go down that a little bit. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Here, I'll let you
Pretty
see.
around there.
So did you get a push, Janine?
Oh, you get I felt it definitely in June. You get a slight against you going out, and then you get a boost going back.
Yeah.
And then I overshot the last turn.
Oh,
I look up, and the next thing I know, there's people yelling at me in boats to turn. So, yeah, I messed that up.
Oops. Yeah.
oh, I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
I hate that.
How was your bike, Janine?
Eagleman, okay.
Was it windy or?
No, it wasn't bad. We had a slight, it wasn't worth, you got a slight push going out and a slight headwind coming back. It wasn't
Oh.
too bad.
You got lucky.
Yeah, yeah.
Good. Well, good luck this weekend.
Good luck this weekend, definitely.
I'm nervous. Yeah.
Weather's
Are
looks
you, are
good.
you, are you planning to pee on the bike?
No, I'm stopping. I'm stopping.
Are you getting off the bike? That's the question.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
See?
I'm
People have
gonna-
been telling me how to do it. I can't figure it out.
I don't even want to try to learn. I mean, the most risque I'll do is if I see a nice tree in the woods, if I could hop off and do that, but I'm not gonna do on a bike.
Yeah.
So talk to us about, did you talk about Atlantic City yet?
No. When I did Atlantic City, it wasn't the new course. So I did it when the bike was a little scenic in the neighborhoods. Now it's just straight highway. But I'll back up to the swim. As far as logistics wise, it's a nice venue. Hotels are right there. You have the boardwalk. I think I stayed at Bally's. We got a discount at Bally's. It's such a hopping city. It's a lot of activity. So that was nice. It's not a sleepy town. Yeah, the swim, they had to cut my swim short when I did it. And because the water, something with the tides were kind of like a swirl. And
That was
they got us
was that the first year that they did it?
maybe the second year.
Okay.
'Cause I know there was people before me that did it. So it was 2016 I did it. Yeah, it was, and I thought I did great on the swim because I didn't know they cut it short. I'm just following where I'm supposed to go. And I didn't know until after the race was over. So it wasn't that much shorter, but it was just a danger. I didn't feel any problem in the water at all. I just felt it was fine. But then the new course, they changed the water to another section. It wasn't in the same section that I was in because there was boat activity that they decided to move it. And I don't know what was going on that weekend. It was 2 weeks ago, I believe, or just last weekend, I think. My friend just did it. But it was mud. It was mud, and
This past weekend
This
it
past
was.
weekend, yeah. Supposedly there was mud where people were walking through it. They were walking through the mud, and they said if you put your face down in the water, it was black water. Yeah, it was sludgy and muddy, and
Yeah.
that's
I had somebody tell me exactly that same thing, earlier this week. He said it was terrible.
And you don't
Sudan was supposed to do that one this year, and he deferred it to next year. He's on the call. So you lucked out, Sudan, because it was a bad swim.
Well, my friend Julie said that she's been using Q-tip in her shower every day, and it's still black coming out.
No. Julie did really well on that race.
She did. Oh, you know my Julie? The one
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's the one
Michael?
who was talking to me about
Really,
all
Michael?
these things. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, she really did. I'm so proud of her.
Yeah.
And she kept her head down. She swam that race, even though
Yeah.
people were walking next to her. Yeah, it was sledgy. But yeah, but I couldn't imagine pulling blackout after 3 days or 4 days of showers. So yeah, it's not a
I
good.
just wonder if there was bacteria in that water.
Exactly. Do you go get a tetanus? I don't know. It's kind of yucky.
Somebody said they were getting a tetanus. Yeah, I saw that on Facebook too.
Yeah, yeah. So the bike though, is straight highway, nothing special, nothing pretty. So that you can get a PR on your bike if you're just gonna straight highway out and back. It's pretty much that's the way it was. When I did it, it was in, like I said, in the neighborhood. You're circling around and you buy different things. It was, turns and everything. So, having a nice PR on a bike is good too. But once you get up to the boardwalk where it's support and people and, there's little mini showers, you could stop and get a shower. I was there just because, the heat. I was in full sun, and there was one tent that was opened. It was the base, the base salt team, that base company. The man gave me a little packet of Himalayan salt. Take this, because I was struggling and cramping. I went through, and then it looped back to him, and he saw me again, and he says, drink this. He says, it's a rocket fuel. I don't know if you ever heard of the rocket fuel.
Yeah.
I swear I could not walk at that point. And I took the rocket fuel. I said, whatever, give it to me. I was like so disgusted. I couldn't run. I took that rocket fuel. Within 10 minutes, I was running. I ran the rest of the race. I don't know.
Yeah.
I bought it. I left. And when I saw the vendor, I said, I need some of that rocket fuel. That
caffeine in it.
the aminos in it. It was like a combination of aminos and say the salt that you need and
Tacos and yeah.
whatever.
I used to actually take that when I first started. I was using that all the time.
Yeah. And I probably should get more if I'm going to continue racing in the heat. It's the heat. It just takes your body out, so.
It does.
But, having the hotel right on the boardwalk, that was great. Go take a shower. I was just so relaxed. Where
is the finish line? Is the finish line on the boardwalk?
Well, since Delmo took over, because Delmo wasn't in that race when I did it. Delmo is known for some kind of sand. The finish is on the sand. I know. I did one of his races. It was called Escape the Cape. I jumped out of the boat and I swam, and he makes you run on the sand no matter what you do. You got to run sand. He even says, what's my race without sand? And we had part of our run was going on the sand 2 times, out and back.
Wow.
That's exactly what happened when I did the Wildwood race. There's like a Cape, like in Cape May or in Wildwood. I don't know. It's like in that area of New Jersey. And it was all sand. I was like 3 miles of sand, soft sand.
3 miles. Ooh.
Oh, it was horrible. Horrible.
Yeah, especially if you're not used to it.
Yeah. Wow.
So that was Atlantic City. I love it. I'm still disheartened with the swim. I hope they fix that. That's terrible. So the last one I did was in 2019. It was the Patriot Half, which is in Massachusetts. I believe it was a lake that we swam in, a beautiful lake, and it's not an Ironman product. It is multi-sun sports. The race director had a little bit of a Ironman chip on his shoulder. It's like I asked something, goes, this isn't Ironman. We don't do that here. I was like, okay. I just had a question, So there were a lot of little things that it wasn't well. The organization was good, but there was not much support on the bike course or on the run course. So when you're out in neighborhoods in the streets, there were maybe a little cone that's with an arrow. That's all you got. There was nobody out there when you're on your bike. Maybe once or twice I saw someone at a major intersection. Some of my friends felt challenged on the road with the traffic trucks. I mean, they had to literally line up for a traffic light. in this part of the course. It was just, the roads were cobbly. It was just like a kind of a race. As far as the course was good, if no cars were there, and if the roads were a little better paved, that's that you can't help either when the roads go. But there were some potholes that could have been identified just in case you could have fallen, could have got into it. Coming back into the transition, there was traffic, and the traffic was stopped because the runners were crossing the street. And here you're on your bike going into transition, you have to stop with the traffic. And so the runners could cross the street to get on the other side. I mean, the logistics just didn't work. It's like, that's not what you're not supposed to stop traffic, or the bikes should be able to flow into transition also. So we were a little disheartened with that. That race I didn't do particularly well. I was like just a mile away. I was doing my run walk really, really well. Had my timer and everything, Hillary. And he pulled over next to me and said, get in the car. The race director. I said, no, I'm okay. I'm still running. I'm fine. No, get in the car. I'm the race director and I'm responsible. He started screaming at me. I said, take my chip. I don't really care. You can have my chip. I don't care. He goes, no, you're my responsibility. He starts screaming at me. There were two ladies in the car. So I get in the car. I said, whatever. And he just pulled me from the course. And I was upset. I didn't care about going under the finish. I just wanted to finish on my own. So I was just a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth with him. But we passed people that were still running. I was dropped off. My friends were waiting for me. What happened? I said, he made me get in the car. He told me I couldn't finish it. And then those two or three people, they finished. They weren't pulled. I'm like, this is dumb. Why did I get pulled? I don't know. So anyway, I don't recommend that race. Nor do my friends, and they finished fine. They just didn't like the traffic control was wrong. The support out there was wrong. And it was, although it was beautiful, the swim was beautiful. That's all I can honestly say about it. And they told us the run was flat. It was not flat. That's my dog. I'm sorry. So that's that on my races. So next race I figured out, I always wanted to do Mount Tremblant, so I registered for that. Unfortunately, they sent me my money. I didn't even have to ask my money back. They just sent it to me because they closed their borders and they never had their race. It was during COVID. I was supposed to do it. I had a beautiful hotel right on the finish, and it was a resort, and I was going with my daughters were going to come with me, and we were planning a whole family trip. So that's down the road for me. So any questions? Anyone have any questions?
So when you're talking about Eagleman, you were talking about the wind. How strong was the wind? Do you know how?
It was something like 30-mile gusts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
There were gusts. I mean, gusts where I was like this.
Right.
Yeah. We had gusts. Not 30, it was about.
It's so wide open out there off the water, comes right across the water. Nothing stops it.
No. And this is down in the marshes, we have to go through the marsh. And it was pretty intense. But that was maybe a rare situation because Janine, you didn't have that at all. So
No, the closest I've experienced, I did the Seagull Century out there one year, and it was really windy. It was so disheartening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't draft because there was no one near me. I would have drafted. There was nobody with me. I was like, where is everybody? There were more people when I was out running. It was just the way it was spread out. Yeah, it was hard, but I always enjoy myself going away to a race. It's always who you're with, not what you're doing. I know what I did. Maybe I do know at Patriot, I did not train. So if I was at the end of the pack, it was my own fault. Eagleman, I probably could have trained a little better, so it's just when I didn't have the supervision of a coach, I kind of on my own, I'm not strong enough to do it. I could honestly tell you it's me. I need the support. I need a group that'll say, come on, we're going at such a time. I got to do with the people. You know, I could run by myself, but the other stuff, to ride my bike by myself, it's really boring. I like going out with people and doing things. So it depends if you want to coach, don't want to coach. It's just a personal preference. I know the next race I do, I will have a coach. I need a nutrition coach.
Do you have a coach, Janine?
I did a coach for my first Ironman, and she was good. It was more of she had a lot of other athletes, and I got lots of rah, yay, you can do it kind of, you know. But as far as sometimes I thought maybe, oh, something's tweaky or whatever, you know, and I might get well, take it easy on whatever. But in the end, I thought I was doing too much running, honestly, and it messed up my knees, kind of. And I got plantar fasciitis, all that stuff. So this time I'm on a sort of a semi-custom plan that doesn't have personal coaching. And I told him all my woes and everything. So there's a whole lot less running, and I'm kind of worried about it because my longest run was Eagleman, 13 miles. So we'll see. And I'm doing run walk this time.
Yeah.
So you have one of those gym boss timers?
No, I decided I'm gonna go ahead and use my Garmin.
Watch?
So I've got one watch for the swim, the bike computer for the bike, and a different watch for the run. And I'm going to turn off the heart rate monitor and all the Bluetooth, and it should last, but it's going to beep every 20 seconds. I'm doing 40-20, but I can't set it up that way, which is frustrating. But
yeah, I think with some of them you can only do like in intervals of 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the coaching. So I'm happy with. I am kind of. If I have a plan, I'm kind of like oh, the plan says this, so go do it, right? But I know what you mean about my motivation. Sometimes I'm in a tri club here, and they do have group rides and some swims. But then I find the riding styles are so different that it throws me off. I don't know. I can't train. I can't go out for a 60-mile ride and stop 3 times, you know, or something, and have coffee in the middle, or
No,
you know, I can't. It's not
that's
a
not training.
ride.
That's leisurely riding.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So I got a little frustrated with that, and I stopped.
Can you find somebody that's kind of like your speed? You know, like I don't like I like riding with my friends, but if they're at 17 miles an hour and I'm only like 14 miles an hour, I find a friend that I could just do that with. Even with my running, I find somebody that's my level.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm out there by myself, you know.
Yeah. And I'm not, most of the people are faster than me.
Yeah.
I like, because it's Maryland, I've been riding a lot of flat rides.
Okay, good.
And I end up on a flat ride, I'll end up averaging 15 and a half, 16 miles an hour for training.
That's good.
And it seems to be like in the middle. I'm not fast enough for the 17, which is would be a little too much of a push, and I'm not slow enough for the 15 and the, I don't know.
14, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I find that's always the challenge, especially if you're following an 80-20 program.
Yes.
And you're doing you think for the 80, you know what your heart rate should be, but then there may be other people who are out there who are faster, you know, doing
Yeah.
17, but it's above your heart rate, and you want to be
Right.
out with them, but
Yeah.
you shouldn't be. So
Right. I actually followed that Fitzgerald book on my own one year for Olympic distance type racing. I liked it a lot because kind of gave you permission to go slow a lot,
yeah,
you know? And then when you had to go fast, you go fast. But it was different. I like it. I think I would go back to that because I also want to do more strength training too.
yeah. I once I started following that, my legs felt a lot better.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Actually, it was the year after the Ironman training where my legs got, whatever. I did the 80-20 after I could run again. And I did Lake Placid, which I guess I wasn't totally healthy, but I felt great. I mean, I wasn't fast, but I felt great the whole time.
Wow.
Yeah. And
You did the Ironman or the half?
half.
Oh, okay.
And the run, I ended up with a fantastic run for me. And then I was so into it. I was so happy I could run, and I took it easy the first part, and I just went nuts the last 3 miles and ran as fast as I could.
Mhm.
And I messed up
Oh,
my my Achilles tendon.
finished though, right? Did you finish strong?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Then you go repair what was broken. Wow, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, my total time, I was well over 7 hours and something, whatever it was, 7.5 or something. But
That's good. I think
yeah, it was,
anything before 8.5 is great.
but I had a good time.
I agree,
Right?
100%.
Yeah,
Totally. Just get it done.
Yeah, if you could
In
finish before
time.
8.5, you did great.
Yep. Yep. I did in one of the races I did, I think I was 8:25.
Wow,
I
that's
had
awesome.
8 hours and 25 minutes. It is awesome.
Amazing, right?
I was
Amazing.
like, and I think it was Eagleman because of the heat and I wasn't running. And I remember seeing Noah Lamb and I was like, Noah, I'm so hot. And so he said, come on. He encouraged me. It was the last 2 miles. So I just
yeah.
sucked it
He's
up.
very
Got it.
encouraging.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's good.
Sudan is new to triathlons.
Okay.
Do you have any questions, Sudan? Oh, maybe he's on mute.
Maybe, yeah. So it's recreational for me. I just like being around people and having fun. And the endorphins after one of these things are amazing. You gotta like it hurts stirring, but right after about an hour later, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. That's what I think I love about it. And that's what I miss about it right now because there's nothing going on. Just my little trainings that I do on the weekends and a little bit during the week.
I enjoyed this, and I'm glad I tuned in
Oh
because
yeah, nice
right
meeting you.
now my anxieties are running rampant, and it's nice to just talk and think, yeah, I'm out there to have fun. I don't worry about time and all that. Yeah.
Seriously, we all get so caught up in that. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, you only have 8 hours and 30 minutes to do this. And
Right.
I was getting so crazy. That's what I talked to Julie about. Like, she's like, don't talk to anybody on the run. Pee on the bike because you don't have time to stop.
My favorite half marathon was the fall foliage when we ran it together at Hillary.
Oh
That
my
was
God,
like
we had so much fun.
That was a favorite, definitely.
That was in upstate New York, Janine and Sudan. And it was hilly like you can't believe. And we were doing the Galloway method. And I think it was like like we were at like mile 12 or something, and the two of us had to go to the bathroom. Like you can't even believe, like we both had like stomach issues, and
I
we were
think
like,
we
oh
drank
my
no
God,
water.
I don't think I'm gonna make.
I think it was the water we drank on the course, to be honest with you. I really do. Why would the both of us have the
I think
same
there was
problem?
bacteria or something. Yeah,
Oh my gosh. We're not used to that well water up there. And
no.
it was from the
No.
hose or something. The
Oh, we
hose.
had some, we really did. And that was
Yeah.
like, you know, like races like that just make you want to do more races because they're fun to do it with people.
Yep.
You know, that's why next year Ray is going to come up with a race for all of us to do.
Oh, very good.
You know, that's like, that's not that far, like kind of, you know, somewhere where we could all go. You know, we all live on the East Coast, so
Yeah,
you
okay.
know, so if Janine, if you have any suggestions for Ray, just let him know.
I think about that. Yeah, I don't know. I would love doing a running race with you guys.
If I could run again, we'll see.
Yeah, you get
Oh,
better.
Find out
Get
tomorrow.
better.
Really?
Yeah, I did something to my knee when Ray and I did a bike together about 3 weeks ago. And then I ran off the bike. And when I ran, I kind of like buckled my knee a little bit. And I don't know, I'm still feeling it. Like, so I'm just going to go get an MRI and
Yeah, yeah.
see what's going on.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, Janine, I am going to track you. You
Oh,
will do wonderful.
I'll keep that in mind. Like, oh,
We're tracking you.
Joanne's gonna track me. I gotta
We're gonna support
start
you.
running again.
What are you estimated at? I mean, so this is your second full Ironman. What are you thinking? Like 17 or?
Yeah, I should, you know, be in a under 17.
Awesome.
I'm hoping for closer to 16 and a half, but we'll see.
Okay. You could do it.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
I volunteered at the finish line one year at Ironman Maryland, and it's so
Ah.
exciting to pull you through, pull those people through. Just think,
Yeah.
those people are so happy to see you. You get your wrap.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe we should all do Eagleman next year.
That's a thought.
Hey.
That's a
Yeah.
thought. It would be fun.
Anyway, well, this was fantastic, Joanne.
Well,
Thank
thank
you
you.
so much. I'm so
Thank you.
glad you were able to do this.
Me too. Me too. I think I was getting a little like, oh, but all the courses are changed. I don't know if I could do this, but it's good. It's
This
just
was so good. Really, it was great. It was great information, and this is exactly what we're trying to do with these peer-to-peers. So
yeah, and
thank
you bring
you.
a lot to the team, Hillary. You're also a coach, so maybe we'll talk. Because I know you'd be like the coach I had. You would be that person. I know that. So
Thank you.
good
Thank
coach
you.
here, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, Joanne.
All right. Have a good one, everyone.
Bye. Have a great. See you soon. I
Bye-bye.
hope.
I hope so.
Okay.